We can close the window.
Upper Loxaw Land Exchange kind of reminds me of the blind men who were describing an elephant. And what you see is in the eyes of what your values are. And so there are some fairly divergent views on this topic, and that's been going on for over a year. We've invited 3 people to give some of their views on the project, and we look forward to having a respectful exchange of ideas, and there'll be time for questions from the attendees. And I will not do introductions because it will take too long. So are there any announcements? Louise?
The buy local market is tomorrow night downstairs. And if you're looking for some unique Christmas gifts, show up.
Thank you. Okay. Our 3 speakers are Teresa Trulock from the Forest Service, Gary McFarland from the Friends of the Clearwater, and Marla Beeker from Western Pacific Timber. And I'll introduce each of them now, and then we'll proceed with their presentations. Teresa Trulock works for the Clearwater National Forest as a National Resource Specialist. She earned a degree in forest management from WSU, then began her career with the Forest Service in southeast Alaska. 3 years ago, she and her family moved from Wyoming to Kamai to be closer to family. Currently, Teresa is the project leader for the Upper Loxaw Land Exchange. Gary McFarland is the Ecosystem Defense Director for the Friends of the Clearwater and has worked on conservation issues for over 30 years in the West in various capacities as staff member or volunteer for various conservation organizations. He graduated from Utah State University's College of Natural Resources. Marla Beeker has been with the Western Pacific Timber since 2008. Her primary duties include land management of the company's Washington holdings, such as harvest units, layouts, and permitting, the planning and administration of reforestation mapping using ARE and GIS, and assisting with the Upper Loxaw Land Exchange. Marla has a Bachelor of Science in Forest Management from the University of Washington. She has worked in the timber industry for 16 years, primarily managing private industrial timberland. Marla is also a certified forester and holds a current WSU Washington State pesticide private applicator license. She is a 2004 graduate of the Washington Agriculture and Forestry Education Foundation Leadership Program. She resides in Ellensburg with her husband and chocolate lab Target. Now I'm going to I'll give a little intro to what Teresa is going to talk about. The proposed Upper Loxaw Land Exchange, a project that Western Pacific Timber proposed to the Forest Service in 2006 April. The private lands proposed for exchange are intermingled in a checkerboard pattern with the Clearwater National Forest. The proposed exchange presented an opportunity for the forest to consolidate ownership with the headwaters of the within the headwaters of the Loxaw River, an area with outstanding aquatic, terrestrial, and cultural values. Public scoping for the project began in November 2008. The draft environmental impact statement was released for public review on November 22nd. And this meeting was scheduled way before we knew that was going to happen, so it was just fortuitous. Teresa will share the details of the draft EIS.